Welcome, dear students. Welcome to the next lecture of Basic Electrical Engineering. And here are the content. So we are going to do many things today. We are going to learn the working principle, the full-fledged working principle of three-phase induction motor. Then we are going to develop the torque slip characteristic. Actually, we are going to understand just the characteristic, not the empirical formula. Then we will learn the speed control of three-phase induction motor. Uh, After that, we will start doing single-phase induction motor, and we will learn the working principle and starting method of single-phase induction motor. To understand electromagnetic torque, let us discuss the working principle of three-phase induction motor a bit in more detail. So till now we have understood that there is a stator, which is an stationary object, and there is a rotor. So rotor can rotate, and there is a very small air gap between stator and rotor. So this is your air gap. This is nearly 1 to 3 mm as per the size of the machine. So we have seen that a stator is having a three-phase winding. So let me write it down. So stator consists of three-phase winding. With three-phase supply. Second thing is the rotor also has winding. Rotor consists of winding, means coil wounded on the rotor, but shorted winding. Shorted means you are having a coil and you just short it, just connect its two ends. So in stator, what we were doing in stator, we were supplying this stator with an AC source, but in rotor we are not having any excitation. This is the beauty of this induction motor. To create MF, to create magnetic poles on the rotor, you need excitation. You need current in the rotor coils. But because the rotor is rotating, so it is very difficult to excite the winding in the rotor. रोटर घूम रहा है तो उसकी कॉइल्स भी घूम रहे होंगे, तो उसमें आप बाहर से कनेक्शन कैसे करेंगे? तो चलिए हम लोग देखते हैं, पहले रोटर में एक वाइंडिंग करते हैं. रोटर में हम वाइंडिंग प्लेस करते हैं. अब वाइंडिंग कैसे करेंगे? तो ये हमारे मशीन के सामने का पोर्शन है. ओके, तो एक तरफ से रोटर में हमने कॉइल लिया, कंडक्टर, और फिर पीछे से लाके फिर सामने से निकाल के ये हमने कनेक्ट कर दिया. ओके, तो ये चीज आपको ध्यान देनी है कि अभी जो रोटर में कॉइल है, इसकी मैग्नेटिक एक्सिस वो है इस डायरेक्शन में. कॉइल की मैग्नेटिक एक्सिस, कॉइल एक्सिस मैं बोल देता हूँ. नाउ लेट अस से एट t इक्वल टू 0 जो स्टेटर जनरेटेड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है उसका नॉर्थ पोल ऊपर है और साउथ पोल नीचे है। नॉर्थ से साउथ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड फ्लो कर रही है। अब देखिए कॉइल एक्सिस हमारी इस तरफ है, ओके मतलब कॉइल हमारा ऐसे लपेटा हुआ है, ठीक, और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इस डायरेक्शन में है। तो क्या वो कॉइल के बीच से जा रहा है? इट्स लाइक कॉइल्स आर फेसिंग लाइक दिस, सी माय हैंड, okay, so this is the coil, so it is facing like this, so the coil axis is this and magnetic field is coming from top to bottom, so it is not passing through the coil, जो हमने मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स लिंकेज की डेफिनेशन में कहा था। तो यहाँ पे फ्लक्स लिंकेज जीरो है इस कॉइल से। स्टेटर का मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जो हमने मैग्नेटिक फील्ड स्टेटर पे जनरेट किया है वो रोटेट कर रहा है, दैट इज रोटेटिंग इन नेचर, ओके। सो एट t इक्वल टू t1 कुछ समय बाद यही सेम पोलैरिटी यहाँ पे बन जाएगी, ये नॉर्थ हमारे यहाँ पे आ गया, ये साउथ हमारा यहाँ पे चला गया। अब देखिए अब क्या हो रहा है, अब हमारा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जो स्टेटर से जनरेटर है वो कॉइल के बीच से होके जा रहा है, तो फ्लक्स लिंक कर रही है, ओके। पहले जीरो था, अब प्लस हुआ, फिर कुछ देर बाद जब यहाँ से मैग्नेटिक फील्ड नीचे से आने जाने लगेगी तो फिर जीरो हो जाएगा, और फिर जब लेफ्ट से जाने लगेगी, लेफ्ट से राइट, तो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड माइनस डायरेक्शन में लिंक कर रहा है। तो इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, जो कॉइल से फ्लक्स लिंकेज है वो वेरी कर रहा है इन टाइम, बिकॉज द स्टेटर जनरेटेड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इज रोटेटिंग। और बाई फैराडेज लॉ जब भी फ्लक्स लिंकेज किसी भी कॉइल से चेंज होता है इन टाइम तो फिर उसमें ईएमएफ इंड्यूस होता है। तो बिकॉज rotor coils are stationary and stator generated magnetic field is rotating and EMF will be induced in the rotor. Yeah. Now, this is clear that an EMF will be induced in the rotor winding due to electromagnetic induction. So, rotor winding is induced with voltage due to electromagnetic induction. We call this phenomena as electromagnetic induction. Okay, but in which direction the current will flow? Means the top lead will be, that means the upper node will be positive or the lower node will be positive. In which direction the EMF will be induced? EMF will be induced. That is electromagnetic induction. To understand that, we need to refer the Lenz law. So rotor voltage polarity will be decided by Lenz law. So by Lenz law, the effect will oppose the cause. Now we need to identify the effect and cause here. So effect is what? The rotor current. And due to this rotor current, there will be rotor poles, magnetic poles. And because now the rotor is magnetized and the stator is also already magnetized, so there will be a torque experienced by the rotor, which will rotate the rotor. The rotor is rotating. Because of the torque. Torque between rotor poles and stator pole. Okay. And what was the initial cause of generating all this sequence of actions? The initial cause. We call the initial cause. What was the initial cause? Initial cause was the relative speed between rotor winding and the stator generated magnetic field. Rotors were stationary and magnetic field on the stator was rotating. So there was a relative speed between rotor winding and stator generated magnetic field. So the effect has to be applied such that it will oppose the cause. It will oppose the relative speed between the rotor winding and stator generated magnetic field. तो कैसे हो सकता है? ये तभी पॉसिबल है जब रोटर जो है स्टेटर जनरेटेड रोटेटिंग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के डायरेक्शन में रोटेट करने लगे. अगर ये उसी डायरेक्शन में रोटेट करने लगेगा तो इन दोनों की रिलेटिव स्पीड कम होने लगी. कैसे? अगर रोटर स्टेटर एक 100 आरपीएम पे रोटेट कर रहा है और रोटर भी 100 आरपीएम पे रोटेट करने लगे तो व्हाट विल बी इफेक्ट? द रिलेटिव स्पीड बिटवीन दीज टू विल बिकम जीरो. So rotor will start rotating in the direction of stator generated magnetic field. So rotor में हमें ऐसी पोलैरिटी दिखानी है कि वो स्टेटर जनरेटेड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के डायरेक्शन में रोटेट कर सके. तो अब देखिए अगर मान लेते हैं कि स्टेटर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इस डायरेक्शन में रोटेट कर रही है, लेट अस से एट ओमेगा एस स्पीड, ओमेगा इज द रेडियन पर सेकेंड. ओके, देन यहाँ पे अगर साउथ पोल कर देते हैं रोटर का और इधर नॉर्थ पोल कर देते हैं तो क्या होगा? साउथ विल बी अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स नॉर्थ, नॉर्थ विल बी अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स साउथ. ओके, so now the torque on the rotor will be experienced towards the direction of omega s. और इसको करने के लिए कैसे करेंगे? यहाँ पे आपको यहाँ पे करंट नीचे के कंडक्टर में करंट अंदर जानी चाहिए और ऊपर के करंट में बाहर आनी चाहिए. तो आप देखोगे राइट हैंड फ्लेमिंग्स रूल लगाइए और देखिए मैग्नेटिक फील्ड किस डायरेक्शन में आ रही है. तो ऊपर के डायरेक्शन में अगर आप मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इसकी स्क्रीन से बाहर करता हुआ दिखाएंगे तो आपको मैग्नेटिक फील्ड नॉर्थ से साउथ जाती हुई दिखेगी. Okay, so this will become your north and this will become your south. So So the next concept to understand in induction motor is the slip. So how we define a slip? Slip is the relative speed between the stator magnetic field, stator rotating magnetic field, and the rotor speed. So let us say ns is the rotating magnetic field speed, rounds per second, and nr is the rotor speed, rounds per second. So slip is defined as the relative speed between the stator magnetic field and the rotor speed. So let us say that ns is the speed of the rotating magnetic field. This is rounds per minute, and nr is the rotating speed of the rotor. So we take the relative speed and in per unit terms. So what is the relative speed in terms of ns? This is called slip. So we must understand this, that at the starting, when you are just injecting the exciting the stator of the induction motor, your nr is 0 at starting, your nr is equal to 0, so your slip will become ns minus 0 upon ns, that is 1. And when this rotor speed attains the speed of the synchronous speed, the rotor magnetic field, though it will never happen, अभी आपको बताते हैं कैसे. जब nr ns के बराबर हो जाएगा तब क्या होगा? स्लिप विल बी इक्वल टू ns minus ns divided by ns, that is equal to 0. तो अभी मैंने बोला रोटर स्पीड कभी सिंक्रोनस स्पीड पे नहीं पहुंच पाएगी, ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि आपको बताया गया है कि the EMF which is induced in the rotor winding, the effect is just because there is a relative speed between the stator generated magnetic field and the rotor winding. अब जैसे ये दोनों सेम स्पीड पे आएंगे तो इनके बीच का रिलेटिव स्पीड क्या होगा? 0. और जैसे वो 0 होगा तो इफेक्ट भी 0 हो जाएगा. The EMF induced in the rotor will also become 0. And as the rotor EMF induced is 0, rotor current will be 0, and the rotor poles will vanish. और जैसे रोटर पोल वैनिश होगा तो टॉर्क भी नहीं लगेगा रोटर पे और मशीन फिर स्लो डाउन होने लगेगी. लेकिन वो जैसे स्लो डाउन होने लगेगी फिर से एक रिलेटिव स्पीड आ जाएगा और फिर से एक इफेक्ट बनेगा, एक करंट बनेगा और वो एक मैग्नेटिक पोलैरिटी फिर से वापस आ जाएगी. तो हमेशा ये ऐसे होता रहेगा और एक स्टेडी स्टेट पे रोटर जो है वो लेस देन सिंक्रोनस स्पीड पे रन करने लगी. So we can make the torque slip characteristic, or let us say torque versus speed, rotor speed characteristic. So speed is in this x direction. So let us say at origin the nr is 0. Obviously it is shown on the x-axis, and at some point nr is equal to ns. Okay, so when nr is equal to 0, then what is slip? Slip is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns. So what is slip? When nr is equal to 0, so it is 1. So when nr is equal to ns, then slip is 0. So slip, we can say that slip is in this direction. Speed is in plus x and slip is in minus x. So what happens when slip is 1, means when the rotor is stationary, then obviously there is a relative speed between stator magnetic field and the rotor field and rotor winding. So an EMF will be induced, a torque will be there. So there will be a starting torque. And it will keep on increasing until a point will come when slip will start decreasing. So this is called the maximum torque or pull out torque. Okay, and the slip at which the maximum torque is attained is called Sm. Okay, so here it has to be understood that this is unstable region of operation. Machine never operates in this region, unstable region. Actually, the machine only runs in this region. This is the operating region. So in transient, it will start from nr is equal to 0. एक बार तो nr is equal to 0 से start होगी ही होगी, फिर काफी नजदीक पहुंच जाएगी ns के, और तब फिर आप जब ऑपरेट करोगे, फिर आप लोड करेंगे मशीन को, मोटर से आप किसी चीज को घुमाएंगे, तो जो ऑपरेटिंग रीजन बनेगा, फिर जो मशीन वर्क करेगी वो इसी रीजन में वर्क करेगी. ऐसा में s is equal to sm to s is equal to 0. The operating slip can be in normal case can be maximum to maximum 0.06, just 6% of the total. So putting on this value in the formula, so it is 0.06 is equal to ns minus nr upon ns. So if we can see, nr is 94% of ns. This is the minimum nr could go. Is 94% of ns. If ns is 100 rpm, then nr will operate from 100 rpm to 94 rpm. So this is sometimes called constant speed machines, क्योंकि इसमें कितना भी आप लोड कर दीजिए, आपकी जो स्पीड होगी, रोटर की जो स्पीड होगी, वो नियरली कांस्टेंट होती है. So let us solve a numerical on calculating the slip of induction motor. So here are some data that need to be understood before solving this numerical. So this is the data of induction motor that you need to understand. So first is 1 kilowatt. This is the power output of induction motor. This much mechanical power it can develop. 440 volt is the input voltage, input line voltage of induction motor. It is a three-phase induction motor. So single-phase induction motor also is very popular, but this is a three-phase induction motor question. And the supply frequency is 50 hertz. and the induction motor are having 4 pole on its periphery. मतलब अभी तक आपने 2 पोल देखे थे, तो 4 पोल कुछ ऐसे दिखेगा, नॉर्थ साउथ नॉर्थ साउथ। तो वाइंडिंग के अरेंजमेंट से हम लोग 2 पोल बना सकते, 4 पोल बना सकते, 6 पोल बना सकते, जितने भी पोल्स चाहें वो बना सकते। एज पर फर्स्ट ईयर सिलेबस it is not required to understand type of windings. So you can just assume here that 4 poles are present in the induction motor, and the motor is running at 1440 rpm when it is fully loaded. जब उससे 1 किलोवाट पावर लिया जा रहा था, तब वो मोटर 1440 आरपीएम पे रन कर रही। तो क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है कि फाइंड द ऑपरेटिंग स्लिप ऑफ द इंडक्शन मोटर एट फुल लोड। तो फुल लोड पे जब ये मशीन घूम रही थी तो उसकी स्लिप निकालनी है हमें। तो स्लिप का सबसे पहले फॉर्मूला लिख लीजिए। तो स्लिप इज इक्वल टू NS माइनस NR अपॉन NS। ओके, तो NR तो हमें पता है कितना है, 1440 आरपीएम। आरपीएम इज राउंड्स पर मिनट, 1 मिनट में इतनी बार घूमेगा। व्हाट इज NS? तो NS का को कैलकुलेट, NS से पहले तो NS है क्या? NS इज द रोटेटिंग स्पीड ऑफ द स्टेटर जनरेटेड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड। ओके, तो NS की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करने का एक बहुत ही पॉपुलर फॉर्मूला है कि NS इज इक्वल टू F इंटू 120 डिवाइड बाई P, where F is the supply frequency, P is the number of pole, or NS is the speed of the stator rotating magnetic field. So this can be calculated at so here it is 50, frequency 120, and number of pole is 4. So here it will come 1500 rpm. So stator generated rotating magnetic field is rotating at 1500 rpm, and rotor is rotating at 1440 rpm. So slip can easily be calculated as 1500 minus 1440 divided by 1500. So this is 60 upon 1500. This is coming out to be 0.04 or 4%. So this is the value of slip at which the induction motor is operating at full load. इसी तरीके एक न्यूमेरिकल आता है फर्स्ट ईयर के एग्जाम्स में, इससे ज़्यादा आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कीजिए। और चलिए आगे बात करते हैं हम लोग अगले सेक्शन की। So next topic is speed control of three-phase induction motor. This might be in your syllabus, might not be in your syllabus, but to understand this does not take much effort if you have understood till now. So the thing is that three-phase, you have seen that three-phase induction motor runs between no load rotary speed and full load rotary speed, and which hardly is varies by 4% of the no load speed. So if it is running at 1490 rpm at no load, it would run up to 1440 or 1480 when you fully load it. So if you want to run, let us suppose that you want to run the motor at 1000 rpm, then what you will do? Will you change the motor? No, it will be very costly. So what you need to do, you need to control the speed of this three-phase induction motor. Okay, how we can do it? Just see here. You have got 2 magnets on the stator. Let us say 2 pole machine this is. So it is rotating uh, at 100 rpm. Okay, and you have got a rotor which is following this stator poles. So it is let us say at full load it is operating at 94 rpm. So how to control the speed of this rotor? It is simple. You can control the speed of the stator rotating magnetic field. If you can decrease this to 50 rpm, then automatically the rotor speed will come out to be 97 rpm. Sorry, 47 rpm. So how you can do this? How you can change the speed of the stator generated rotating magnetic field? It's simple. Just look at the formula. So what is Ns? Ns is F into 120 by T. So you can change the frequency of the supply, or you can change the number of pole of the machine. So some of the windings give you access to change the number of poles just by using a switch. You just switch on and the number of poles changes uh, from 2 to 4 or 4 to 2. Similarly, we can change the frequency of the supply. There are some frequency converter which can regulate the frequency of the supply, and then you can feed it to induction motor, and it will start rotating at your desired speed. So in this case, if in the above example, if you want to decrease the speed of the rotor from 94 rpm to 47 rpm, you just have to you can do in two methods. Either you can decrease the frequency by 2, or you can increase the number of pole of the machine. So this is called speed control of three-phase induction motor. So in induction motor, the next very important topic is single phase induction. Actually, we cannot use three-phase induction motor wherever we want. We need a three-phase supply to use it, the machine. But as you must be aware of the fact that in houses, in residential purpose, or most of the commercial purposes, we use a single phase supply. Three-phase supply is mostly used for industries or for transmission. So single phase induction motor becomes a very important component uh, to use the electric power and to convert the electric power to mechanical power. So how this can work? Let us see. So let us say this is a stator. It is not fully circle, but just pardon me for my bad drawing. So this is the stator, which is fixed. Now there is a rotor, and mind you, they are cylindrical one. Okay. So now in three-phase induction motor, what we were having? We were having three-phase supply and three-phase winding, which were displaced by 120 degree. Here we are just having a single phase supply. Okay. And obviously we will be having winding on the rotor. Let us take two conductors here. Now to look here is that this single phase supply on a single phase winding will not be able to generate a rotating magnet, because that was a special characteristic of the three-phase winding and three-phase supply. So here the magnetic field that will be generated by the stator winding, that will be pulsating in nature on its own magnetic axis. So here we can see here the magnetic axis is this. So only on this axis the magnetic field can be generated. Okay. Let us say that there is some EMF that has been induced in the rotor, because if it is pulsating, then also the flux linkage with the coil will be changing, and therefore there will be EMF induced in the rotor. So that EMF induced, and because the rotor coils are shorted, so there will be an current in the winding, and that will create a pole on the rotor. Let us say the north of the stator is like this, and the south of the stator is like this. And by right hand screw rule, so we can see that the magnetic field is like this on the rotor. So magnetic field will be oriented from here, and it will go here. This is to repeat the visualization. Okay, so magnetic field rotor is also developing some pole. So what will happen? The rotor pole N will be attracted towards the stator south pole, and the rotor south pole will be attracted towards the stator north pole. Okay, but just one thing, the single phase supply is like this. Okay, so let us say it is having a time period t. What is time period? Time period is the time after which the signal repeats itself. So after t time it is repeating, and as general the frequency of the supply is 50 hertz, so time period we can calculate. So 1 upon 50, that will be 0.02 seconds. So for positive half will be for 0.01 second, and the negative half will be as well 0.01 second. So it means this stator north pole will be only north pole for 0.01 second. After 0.01 second, it will convert to south pole. So when it gets converted to south pole, now the rotor will be attracted to, towards the north pole will be attracted towards the south pole. So what will happen? So the rotor will experience a torque that will be in anti-clockwise direction for 0.01 second, and then it will experience a torque in clockwise direction for 0.01 second. So rotor will start oscillating. It will not be rotating in a particular direction because there is no unidirectional torque. So what needs to be done here? We cannot have another phase. We cannot have three phase supply. So what could be done? So this induction motor, single phase induction motor, is not self-starting machine. So we make it self-starting. By how? By creating another winding into it. Just see how it will happen. Let us say we are having main winding. Let us say main winding, and this is our rotor. Okay. So then we connect an auxiliary winding into it through a switch. Okay. The the motor is now also supplied by single phase supply. But what is happening there, here we have got now two windings. We have not got two phase supply, but we are having two windings. Two This is main winding and this is auxiliary winding. Let us say the resistance of this winding is Rm and the reactance is Xm, and the resistance of auxiliary winding is Rax and the reactance is Xax. Okay, and let us say the current flowing in the main winding is Im, and the current flowing in the auxiliary winding is IAX, and from single phase supply IL current is flowing. So this is another winding that is spaced at 90 degrees. So if you remember, then we have studied at the starting two phase winding in which two winding that were displaced by 90 degree were supplied by two phases that were displaced by 90 degree. So that was able to generate a rotating magnetic field, perfect rotating magnetic field. But here, what will happen here? See, let us say this is the phasor of the voltage, a reference V. Let us say that this is your Im current that is lagging by, let us say, theta angle. Well, how you can calculate theta? So cos theta will be equal to what? Rm upon Rm whole square plus Xm whole square. Okay. Now there is there is auxiliary winding and there is a current Ix. So Ix you can draw like this. That will be lagging by, let us say, phi angle by V. Why these current are lagging by a different power factor by different angle with respect to V? Because these are made as such. In main winding, the winding has more number of turns. So Xm is higher in main winding than Rm. And in auxiliary winding, the number of turns is less. So in comparison to main winding, the the auxiliary winding is not so much inductive. So you can say that Rm by Xm is not equal to Rax by Xax. Okay, and what this is? So Rm Xm is lower than Rax by Xax. In that condition, this will satisfy. So what will happen then? So there is a phase difference between the two MMFs that has been created in this machine. One MF it will be in the direction of Im, let us say Fm, and one MF will be in the direction of the IAX. So these MFs are not displaced by 90 degree, then also they will be able to create a rotating magnetic field. Not a perfect rotating magnetic field, but a rotating magnetic field. So it will be having means it will be uh, the it will be having an anti rotating magnetic field as well. But for just now, for sake of understanding this, you can just assume here that if they are displaced by 90 degree, then perfect rotating magnetic field will be there. But here, because they are not displaced by 90 degree, perfectly 90 degree, a rotating magnetic field will be created, but it will not be a perfect one. Okay. So what will happen? Now you are having at the stator a rotating magnetic field. So when it is rotating magnetic field, then obviously the rotor will start rotating, and this machine will become a single phase induction. Machine will become a self-rotating machine, self-starting machine. So what is the role of this switch? This is called centrifugal switch. Actually, some of the single phase induction motor consist of capacitor in the auxiliary winding to make this phase difference exactly to be 90 degree. Like in your ceiling fans, you have got one condenser. So that is for the same purpose. If the condenser is not there, then you will switch on uh, the fan, and the fan will not start rotating. Some cases when you hit with a stick in a particular direction, it starts rotating, but it will not start rotating until unless you replace the condenser. So the rule of condenser is just to uh, shift IEX such that the angle between IEX and IM is IEX and IM is perfectly 90 degrees. Then it will generate a perfect rotating magnetic field. So that is called capacitor start capacitor run single phase induction motor, because you are not taking out the condenser through a switch. The capacitor is remains there for starting purpose as well, and operating purpose as well, and running purpose as well. But in some of the induction motor, it is just capacitor start induction motor. Means once the capacitor role is over for starting the induction motor, then a switch is there, centrifugal switch is there, which acts as per the speed of the rotor, and it what it does, it just disconnect the auxiliary winding from the supply, like here, the centrifugal switch. It will just operate, it will just open when the machine reaches a sufficient speed. So that is called capacitor start single phase induction motor. So this is it from induction motor topic. Uh, Thank you for attending the lectures. And if you have some doubts, you can just post it in the comment box. And please like and subscribe the video, and just share the videos on Techie Faculty channel, so that other students may also be getting benefited. Thank you for now. Thank you.